So in this video, I am going to share with you what are the different risks that you have while you're buying in real estate and how you can mitigate those risks. So let's dive into it. Risk means about financial loss. We buy investment properties with a goal of making money, with an assumption of I'll find a right tenant, with an assumption of that it will make that they are going to keep this property neat and clean, with an assumption of that I am going to continuously get rent. However, if one of the assumption falls or there is a fundamental market change, then the chances are that we might lose money. So the risk is all about how much financial loss that can happen. Investment is inherently risky. No matter what, as much as you do, it has a risk element. So understanding what are the different risks that we have and then mitigating those risks is the key part of the investment. So what are the different risks we have while we are investing in real estate? So the number one risk is related to the property. When we buy a piece of real estate, we assume that everything is going to go well. But if it's not, and particularly if there is a natural calamity, for example, the house gets flooded, or there is some fire in the house, the kitchen get burned and whatever, then the house become unlivable. And this is one of the risk element because we cannot control what can happen tomorrow. Somebody might stay in that house and due to their negligence something might happen, or some natural calamity that can happen. And if you see the recent events in Queensland particularly, there are multiple houses that got flooded and there was no control over any of us that why this has happened. So that's the number one risk is related to the property. The next risk that we got about is the tenant risk. What if the person who is living are unable to pay rent? What if they don't want to pay rent for a significant amount of time, and those money you will actually lose? And those money, if you can't recover it, then you have to pay from your pocket. And it's a risk because you assume that every week you are going to get rent, but you are not getting those rent. And as a result that you have to pay from your pocket. And the third kind of risk is your negligence. If you as the owner did not provide the right kind of property with all other compliance, then it is a risk because if something happens due to your negligence, then you might lose a lot of money because you haven't provided the right kind of house with proper compliance. So this is also to me is a risky element because if you don't provide all these things as per the rule books, then it is going to be a problem. It might be a problem in future. So that's also the third kind of risk. So to me, these are the three types of risk that we have, and we might have to mitigate all these risks. So let's look into it how we can mitigate all these risks. The first risk that we can mitigate is the property risk. Property is beyond our control. If flooded or there is a fire or anything that happens, that's beyond our control. And to mitigate the risk, the best way to do this is to take insurance. There are so many insurance companies who are ready to provide you insurance with a amount of monthly premium, and as a result if something occurs, then they are going to pay you, they are going to replace your house cost, they are going to make sure that you don't have to pay from your pocket. Now of course insurance has multiple categories. What type of insurance that you are taking, that you need to understand, and whether it is how much the insurance company is going to cover. And this is what you need to talk to your insurance broker. Find an insurance broker and talk to them and understand how much you have to pay from your pocket, how much they will pay in the event something happens. And asking all these questions to your insurance broker, you will get to know how much risky you are in terms of your investment. The second part of insurance or second part of risk element is the tenant risk, which is that if the tenant is not paying rent or even the tenant has damaged something, and that is also can be covered by insurance. And it's not only about insurance, the second element of that is you need to ensure that you are actually managing the property through real estate agent. And way too many people think that providing real estate agent or real estate property manager is 5 to 6% or 8% that we are providing. It's just I can do it by myself. But if you are not skilled enough and if you make mistakes and if you are not doing by the rule books, then later on the insurance company might not pay you. So you must be saving 4%, 5% by self managing it, but later on you might lose a lot of money in the event that even though you are paying the insurance premium, insurance company might not accept your claim because you are managing yourself and you are not managing effectively or as per the rule book. So it is important to have a real estate manager, in my opinion, so that you always have a clear segregation. So you are the owner and real estate property manager, they are managing the property. In the event something is not done properly, you can ask them that why it is not done properly, and generally if the real estate property manager are really nice and well established, then they will do according to the rule book. So it's not only about paying the premium or the taking the insurance, it's also about making sure that you are managing your property through property manager, not by yourself. And the third part of risk is about your negligence. If you have not provided the house according to the standard, Australian housing standard, then it will going to be a problem, because if later on there is any claim, then the insurance company might say, oh, that's because this was not as per the standard, hence they are not going to accept the claim. So make sure that when you purchase a property, you did the building and pest inspection, and as per the builders, if there is any shortfall, is there anything that needs to be fixed, you have done this according to the rule book, according to that government standard, so that in the event later on something happens, then you can claim that. Real estate investment is inherently risky. If you see that it's hundreds of thousands of dollars that you are actually investing, so if you lose money, you will lose a lot. However, if you take the proper insurance and if you make sure that you are managing through real estate agent or property manager, and the third part is that you are providing the house as per the standard, then chances are that you will not lose money. In fact, it will be much less riskier as compared to not having insurance, not doing these things properly. Investment is inherently risky. However, if you don't invest, that is even riskier. I want you to think about this. Way too many people think that, oh, this is risky, I shouldn't do this. But not investing in real estate is even more riskier. And as a result, you are exposing yourself in much more riskier place by not investing. I hope that this video is helpful. If you like this video, then subscribe my channel, turn the notification bell on so you get to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.